my go-to.
Right.
My pal.
Pal.
Pal? Not
Pal.
your schnookums or your schmoop or...
No.
Do you have any pet names for each other?
Schnookums came later.
We don't really have pet names, though.
Hillary won't let us have pet names.
No, we decided that together.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would say Robbie and Hill. I mean, that's what we call each other.
I call her Mugs sometimes because
This is kind of embarrassing.
Hillary has an awkward.
It's not awkward. It's amazing.
It's socially unacceptable. The kind of obsession she has with Harry Potter.
Troll in the dungeon!
And so I'm keeping Price as my middle name. Maintains the HP.
Okay. Well. So she's obsessed with Harry Potter, and the characters in Harry Potter that are half
No.
magical,
Non-wizard at all.
non-wizard,
Non-magical.
non-magical people are called Muggles.
Muggles. You know.
So the humans. So if we lived in Harry Potter's world, we
Wizards
would
are
all be
humans, too.
Muggles. So in keeping with that theme, I call her Muggs for short, of Muggles.
Yeah.
And that's the only concession I'll ever make to that Harry Potter obsession.
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity.
Sort of exciting, isn't it? Stupefying!
I like the movies like any other average person with street would like the movies. I haven't read each book like 6 to 7 times. I just don't really care that much about wizards and witchcraft.
It's about more than just that.
It isn't. It isn't
There's
at all.
a really deep story, It's about friendship and sacrifice. That's all I'm going to say.
Agree to disagree.
Times like these, dark times, it can bring people together.
Take my hand.
I did a lot. We dressed up for almost every movie. I made my college friends go with me. Yeah, and they all probably thought I was a psycho, but they're still friends with me. So they accept me for who I am.
As Robert does.
Yes, absolutely.
Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
No, it's
they're all
Latin.
just Italian food
No,
dishes.
it's Latin.
No, it's
It's
not.
Latin.
They're Italian food dishes said like different ways in conjunction with each other. Lasagna and cannoli.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That felt good.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roam. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. And may you grow to be proud, dignified and true. And do unto others as you'd have done to you. Be courageous and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay forever young, forever young. May good fortune be with you, may your guiding light be strong. Build a stairway to heaven with a prince or a vagabond. And may you never love in vain, and in my heart you'll always remain forever young, forever served you well. For all the wisdom of a lifetime, no one can ever tell. But whatever road you choose, I'm right behind you, win or lose, forever young, forever young,
I'd probably known Robert since kindergarten. I don't remember meeting him in kindergarten. My first recollection is probably in middle school in the 5th or 6th grade, but we did go to TCA together from kindergarten through 12th grade. So we've known each other for a long time. I don't remember meeting him for the first time though.
I remember a lot about Hillary as a kid that I see now in her, which is really funny. But she's always been very assertive and very smart, very strong-willed though. Looking back, you could see those traits kind of developing at a very young age. The same assertive, intelligent, strong-willed woman that I know now was an assertive, intelligent, strong-willed little girl with pigtails in, like 1st through 6th grade.
How he came to go out in 6th grade, I can't tell you. I don't know how that all happened, but he was one of the cool kids. That's probably why.
6th grade boyfriend-girlfriend relationship is nothing like real relationships.
Robert and I never went on a date. We wrote letters to each other and we didn't speak. That was kind of the whole deal about having a middle school boyfriend or girlfriend.
Did you get my call? Did you read my love letter?
I was the most bashful, nervous 6th grade boyfriend I think could ever be.
And he always told me in his notes he would call me or would take me to a movie. And at the time, he always made up stories about how he got in trouble and he couldn't call me, he wasn't allowed to use the phone. And I came to find out later he was just really scared and didn't want to call any girls. So we didn't actually go on any dates.
I was really, really horrified of talking to all of my girlfriends in 6th grade, Hillary included, obviously. So I think I made up for the lack of verbal communication with the written word. A little bit of a poet in my day. I had 2 notes in 6th grade that were particularly poetic and memorable. So 6th grade, I don't make any money. I don't really have a huge allowance. I'm not gonna think to buy a 6th grade girlfriend anything, let alone a bouquet of flowers. But being a creative, genius young mind, I knew that I could create a bouquet of flowers from nothing, which is what I did. I cut out flowers from a magazine, pasted them on a piece of college rule line paper. Simple, elegant, memorable.
Really got to the heart of things,
The second one, in order to express the depth of my love to Hillary as a 6th grader, again, words really were not sufficient then, as they are still not sufficient today. So I said, you know, "Dear Hillary, I love you this much," and I just drew lines across the paper to kind of symbolize
All the way down the paper.
the love for
And it
this
had a
girl.
little dash Robert at the end.
The reason I picked those out is because those are the ones she makes fun of me for in front of all of her friends.
Yeah, because my notes were probably a lot sillier, like, "Hey Robert, what's going on? Want to talk later on Instant Messenger or something?" And then I'd probably always ask him why he didn't call me like he said he would, because like I said earlier, he always told me that he would do things and always came up with some excuse. We never went to a movie together, we never talked. I think we talked on the phone one time. And we didn't hang out outside of school until the day you came over and I told you we're done here.
It's because she scared me. She still kind of scares me a little bit, but I just...
Jeez. Well, you're stuck with me now.
We really love going to Texas football games and really anything Texas athletics related we love going to. She's a very rabid fan.
Oh yes, huge sports fan, both of us.
I like to think that I'm more of like a purist sports fan where I just enjoy the sport for itself, and she's kind of more of a, she has her team prides and she sticks to them.
Oh, I'm a bit competitive when it comes to sports, and I'm sure Robert would say that I can get pretty passionate, I guess is a good way to put it.
She's a very rabid fan. She has her allegiances and she stands by them, and that's actually one of the reasons why I love doing those things with her, is kind of seeing how sporting events bring out the best. I would say the best in her. Some might say otherwise, but I think it's the best in her. It's a lot of fun.
I think we're lucky that both of us really enjoy sports as much as we do, because one of us would be bored if, you know, we didn't enjoy it as much as the other.
It's perfection. I mean, I don't have to feel guilty, you know, watching the Masters this morning because she's watching it with me. She might be writing thank you notes at the same time, but...
I will say, I don't know who's the bigger sports fan. He definitely has more knowledge as far as the ins and outs and the details, but I love going to the games as much as he does.
I think everybody knows and loves her for that, for sure.
And I will say that I have won our bowl challenge, our NCAA football bowl, and our March Madness brackets 2 years running. I did lose this year, but you don't need to know that. No, but I have won, so I think that's saying something about my expertise in the sports realm.
Ooh, crazy's what they think about me. Ain't gonna stop 'cause they tell me so.
The moment that I knew I was going to marry her was actually before I even asked her or before I even told her that I had feelings for her, because this was a period, this was our 5th year in school. We were both in Austin, obviously. We didn't have many friends left in Austin. We're kind of, we made our friendship very strong. It was also a time for both of us to be alone and kind of do a lot of self-examination. And so I really started to figure out who God made me to be as a man, and the kind of priorities I wanted to set for myself moving forward. And a huge part of that was Hillary.
My senior year of high school is when we started to become friends again. We kind of ran in different groups, but we both found out we were going to Texas, and there weren't many of us going to UT. And so I think that kind of formed a bond between us. And then Robert and I actually had our first college class together. I mean, gosh, I remember this like yesterday. I think we were both really nervous. I mean, college is a big deal, especially on a campus like UT's. And so we met for our 8 a.m. math class. I think we had calculus, and walked to class together. And I think that's really what started our friendship in college, for sure.
I guess everything just kind of started clicking to me, that she was just perfect. I mean, really just perfect.
Robert was just my go-to. I mean, he was the person I called if I needed to study or I needed car help or was bored. I mean, we just were there for each other.
Hillary didn't really start falling in love with me until I told her that I was in love with her.
And he hates me for saying this, but he was kind of like my brother in college.
You know, it was a journey well worth taking to that point, and there's obviously a span of time between that point and then when we actually started dating that was just as valuable as the lead up to that moment where I realized how really wonderful she was and how much I really loved her.
It took me a little longer than it took Robert. I needed some time to think about it. There was a lot of fears I had in dating a best friend. You're putting a lot on the line.
And so I think she viewed me in that kind of compartment and really in no other compartment outside of it. And I think it took kind of I think I kind of shook her up when I told her, you know, hey, I've had feelings for you for a couple years now, and
What? What did you just say?
I've been afraid to let them out.
So I had him come over to my house and I sat down and listed out probably 10 different things I was afraid of in dating him. And at the end of that, I said, but I'm willing to give this a shot. The day we got engaged, gosh, August 18th, 2013, I will never forget that.
Yeah, the engagement was my baby. I wanted to kind of do it my own way, in a way that she would love, it would be honorable to her. And so I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I knew Austin was kind of going to be the place to do it, because that's where our relationship really evolved over the years. It's a very special place for us.
So we'd gone to Austin to celebrate my sister's birthday and Robert's birthday. They're a day apart. And Robert had asked months before if we could go to Austin. It wasn't a football weekend or anything like that. He just wanted to spend time in Austin and said, hey, we can celebrate your sister's birthday too. And I thought, sure, of course, why not?
And somehow, by the grace of God, I managed to get her to Austin without her suspecting anything. I don't think she really suspected anything until the morning of.
We went to dinner on that Saturday night, and for some reason I had a feeling, there was just a weird feeling that something might happen, and then nothing happened at that dinner.
But the morning of worked out really perfectly.
Little did I know that my mom had my sister and I go get our nails done. I thought it was for my sister's birthday, but my mom had strategically done that because she knew that there would be a lot of pictures of my hand the next day.
I was able to get her we were staying at her sister and brother-in-law's house. We got her out of the house early in the morning, walked her around the lake in Austin and up onto the bridge. And we got up onto the bridge. I hadn't thought of a reason for us to walk across the bridge, and trying to think of a reason on the fly while also being insanely nervous, just totally.
And so I thought, all right, that's fine. He made up some story about seeing the bats, which the bats don't come out till night.
So that was dumb. That was a really stupid idea. Yeah, she kind of caught on to that one, I think, pretty quick.
So I should have picked up on it, but
started walking, and she fortunately followed me, which is rare for her, just to follow blindly. So I think she might have had an idea at that point.
And I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's so weird, but all right.
Got her to the middle of the bridge and dropped down to a knee. And
so we get to the middle of the bridge, and he stops, and he says, we need to stop right here. And I'm like, Rob, what is going on? Like, why are we stopping? And he turns me around, and he pops down on his knee and said, because I need to ask you something. Said some wonderful things that I didn't remember until he told me later what he had said.
I told her exactly how long it was from the day that I really figured out that I had feelings for her until that day. I told her exactly how long that had been, and I said that I'd loved her every day in between that day and the day that we got engaged, and that I fully intended on loving her for every day from the day we got engaged until the day that I die. At least I think that's what I said. I know I asked her to marry me, obviously.
And then asked me to marry him, and I said yes. And he gives me this big hug, and then we turn around and start walking back, and this man is taking pictures of us with a hat and sunglasses on and everything. And I'm like, he hired some random guy to take our picture. You know, who is this guy? And he's like, well, let's go say hi to my dad. And I was like, your dad?
The whole family kind of ran up afterwards, and it was really special. It turned out really, really well. I think it was, most importantly, it was a blessing to her.
It was really the best day. Everyone who I wanted to be there was there, and we got to celebrate. And
a place she loved with people that she loved, and then she got to get on the phone and kind of excitedly tell all of the friends that she really loves too.
I kind of worried that Robert asked me on his birthday. I thought, gosh, I mean, you know, you're putting the attention on us instead of just you. And he then later told me in cliche form that was the best birthday present he could have received. So it was truly, I think aside from June 7th, that's for sure the best day ever.
You're a falling star, you're the getaway car, you're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't pretend that you don't know it's true, 'cause you can see it when I look at you. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you. You make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything.
Well, Hillary, I think the most important thing for you to know is that my love for you is completely unconditional, and it will be that way until the day that I die. This wedding is something that I have been looking forward to for a really, really long time, because it's with you, and you're the one that I get to look at walking down the aisle, and I thank God for that every day. The thing that I'm most excited for is the way that God will be a part of our marriage, that He will guide us daily, and by His grace, He'll empower me to lead you well and to love you. Gentleness and kindness and strength and courage. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want to do more than anything. So really, words can't really express how excited I am to finally marry you and to start our life together. It's kind of been a long time coming, but it was well worth the wait, well worth the effort.
Hi, Rob. I can't believe that this day has come. I feel like we've been preparing for this for months now. I know you've been a little bit more anxious than I have, but I feel like at this point all the to-dos are crossed off and here we are. This is gonna sound cliche, but I'm truly the luckiest girl on the face of the earth. I get to marry my best friend and someone who's been my best friend for years, and you make me a better person. You make me want to chase hard after Jesus before you, and I think that's so unique. And I think that's going just to pay dividends in the future in our marriage, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I can't wait to see what you're going to look like as a dad, as a husband, as an old man. I will love you through and through for the rest of my life, and I can't be more excited to do that with you and to do all the adventures that we have prepared for us. Let's just get tomorrow done and be Mr. and Mrs. Taylor. I'm ready for it. I love you to the moon, and I can't wait.
So la 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 la. Did you get my call? Did you read my love letter? Did it touch your heart when you read my love letter?
Awesome. Okay, give us a kiss. And that's your first kiss right there on video, right?
Our first kiss ever.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, good job though.
Okay. And cut.